Santoku, first of all, is inspired by a Japanese style knife. The term Santoku refers to the three virtues, which is slicing, dicing, and chopping. So it really should be thought of as a small Japanese style chef knife. So this can be the knife that you use for 90% of your work on the cutting board. So whatever you're cutting, slicing, chopping, mincing, this is a great knife for that. The reason I think it's really popular is the blade is 7 inches long, so it's plenty big enough to do anything you want in the kitchen, but a little bit smaller than your traditional European style 8-inch chef. So especially for folks who didn't go to culinary school, aren't comfortable with a big knife, they find this to be just a little more manageable, a little bit easier to use, a little less threatening really even. I find too, as someone who uses big knives, it's nice for a lot of things when you want to grab a knife real quick and do a little bit of cutting. You know, even if you're a chef and you use a giant knife, it's nice to have a smaller knife for small jobs. Another thing that I found from professional chefs is this is actually a great line knife. So in other words, you've done your prep for the day where you've cut a bunch of things, and when you're in service working on the line, you don't actually want a big knife in the way of doing all your food preparation. So it's nice to have a little bit smaller knife, like a 7-inch knife without as much of a point on the end. It's a little safer for the hectic sort of service time in a kitchen. One of the really signature things about this Santoku is that we have the Teton Edge here, which it originally was there to solve a problem. So if you've seen traditional Santokus, you see they've got little circles ground into the side of the knife. The function of having a depression in the blade is to help keep food from sticking to the side of the knife. And the challenge with the circles on the side of the knife, which is a method that we used when we first started making Santokus, is that in order to put those circles in there, you're actually doing a mechanical grind of the blade after it's been hardened and heat treated. And so there's a real possibility that in that process, you can accidentally heat the blade really quickly, which would affect the heat treatment and damage the performance of the knife. So we developed a unique process that's proprietary to us that is cold, that we actually etch into the blade. And since we aren't confined to using a grinding wheel to grind into the blade, we can make whatever shape we want. So that allowed us the opportunity to create a silhouette of the Teton Mountain Range, which is our home range here that's in our backyard. You walk out of the factory and it's out the back door. So you can see the Teton Mountains right here on the side of the knife. And it's actually performing that thing of keeping food from sticking to the side of the knife better than the little circles did. So super functional and super cool. Like our other knives, this knife is constructed with CPM S35VN particle metallurgy steel, so it has unbelievable performance of edge holding, toughness, and stain resistance. Handles are G10, which is an epoxy fiberglass laminate, literally the most bomb-proof thing you can make a knife out of. We do also make them out of desert ironwood, beautiful natural wood from Arizona that is also the most durable natural material you can make a knife out of. And of course, we've got the homage to Jackson Hole. We've got this elk horn handled Santoku using elk antler to make the handle, which is just the Western classic. I think of the Santoku as an incredible knife to give as a gift. Because it's in that chef knife category, this is a knife that you can give to someone that they can use every day for the vast majority of all their cooking. And so because of the durability and performance of this knife, it is truly a gift that will last a lifetime.